Ah, shit. Fucked up. Okay. I think I'm here. Hello, good day, good evening, good afternoon. It's a bit weird for me to be doing this. Doing this a little different. I don't have a whole lot of time. I got about an hour before I have to start getting ready to go to work. Get my everything set up. Hello. So, no game today. By the time I had everything set up, I'd be in the shits. So, how's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's doing good. I'm mostly just gonna be talking about games and TTRPGs and shit like that. Bouncing some shit around, nothing too like off the wall, nothing too major. Nice chill stream. I don't have any music set up. I have music playing for me, because I can't stand silence. Unfortunately, I can't just play video game music into Twitch either, as I believe that would be like some copyright shit, and I don't want to get slapped. So for now, it's gonna be quiet until I can like figure something out. Especially if people like these kind of streams and want me to do more of them, I will do my best to do more of them. But we'll see how it goes first. This is just me trying something new, trying something a little different. Um, my ad is about to start. Shit. Okay. Fuck. Uh, Otherwise, I hope everybody's doing good today. It's good to see people coming in. Um, I know this is not what was on the docket. I know it's supposed to be Ghosts of Yotai. I am sorry. I just had to do some running around today, and I will be live with it tomorrow. Um, the drinking challenge is still on hold. Spent all morning sleeping at work. Oh, good for you. Good for you. I I bet you're glad to be back at work though. Um, I I lost my train of thought already. Holy shit! Wow. I am nervous. I don't usually just sit here and talk. It's been a minute since I've done this. Um, I am very out of my element. Usually I have the gameplay to go with it, so it's weird. It's weird. Damn it! It's weird. But I'll have fun with it. It'll be good. It'll be fine. I just gotta get the ball rolling. I'm just giving it a little bit so we can see if anybody joins in. I want to just talk bullshit right now, because especially because I see there's a fucking ad playing. Yeah, I can actually see that shit now because I don't have a game in front of me. I can look and be like, oh shit, there's an ad break and it's gonna be this long and blah blah blah. Relax? Yeah, I know I need to. I'm just not used to this. It is weird, but I'm just gonna be essentially just talking shit and maybe talk a little bit of anime, talk some mostly TTRPGs and shit. That's the goal. Is just talk about like role playing games in general because uh, for a lot of people, anybody who isn't in one of my service, I do a lot of role play stuff. Play in them, I run them, I run them, I run more of them. Uh, Favorite dice mechanic and why? Free time. That's not a dice mechanic. Uh, uh, Favorite dice mechanic? I don't know. I only have real experience playing in a few systems. I do like Hunger from V5. D&D Blades in the Dark. Oh, you just mean like in general, what's my favorite system? All right. Well, thank you for the water. I like Blades in the Dark a lot. I have to say I prefer it over thank you for the water. I prefer Blades in the Dark, nice simple D6 system over D&D's D20 system or D8 or D4 depending on what you're attacking with. It's a lot more simple. It's a lot cleaner in my opinion, but it's not too bad either way. I can play D&D. I don't have much experience playing D&D. I've never ran it. I've actually tried to run D&D a few times, more than a few times, and it's never really gone how I wanted it to. That is to say, I did character create, looked at all the shit and went, "Yeah, great," and then I got rid of it. Didn't like what I had and was like, nope, throwing that out into the garbage with you. I don't know what it is. I cannot click with writing for D&D 5e. Nothing wrong with the system from my perspective. I've only ever been a player in it. I've played most of Curse of Strahd. We didn't make it to the end of the campaign, and I've played a few homebrew games in it. But I like it. It's a good system. But my bread and butter is definitely Blades in the Dark, which makes it a real shame because I've never actually had the opportunity to sit down and play the damn system from a player's perspective. I Blades in the Dark is a D6 system and it is very nice. It uses dice pools. You have little character abilities. There's classes, etc. It's nice. It's simplistic. It's about stealing shit and being a criminal, being an anti-hero. It's good. The biggest issue I have is that nobody in my friend group wants to run the damn thing. There are a lot of little systems that go on the back end of being the ST or DM, whichever you prefer. Uh, and it's a fun system to play. They recently actually released a deep cuts version of the Blades in the Dark system, which is nice. I actually like it because it allows for slower XP progression, meaning you can use it for longer stories, more narrative focused things, and your characters won't be max level by the time you're halfway through. Uh, Whereas in the original, it was very easy to like go through one section, pump a shitload of XP into one thing, and then level up your thing to max. Um, they have it balanced a lot better for longer narratives, but you could always go back and play the original system for something a bit quicker paced as well. So that's nice. I My first campaign in Blades in the Dark, I think, ran for about 35 sessions, give or take. Actually, it was more than 35 sessions. 5 times 6 is 35, plus give or take a couple extra. Yeah, around 40 sessions. You might make one for me. You better read up on the book then. There's a lot of shit that goes into Blades, and it's good shit. But there's whole gangs you have to control. You have to plan around what they're doing, how they're doing it, what their goals are, what your players are doing. Uh, it's not. I'm not going to say it's more complicated than D&D because again, I have only read the book a few times and never cover to cover. Um, I feel like D&D has a lot going for it, but I feel like it's got this weird it's got a few quirks that I don't quite like. I don't know. Again, it's I've only played in 2 games with D&D, so maybe I'm just not seeing the full picture. I have a lot more experience as a player in World of Darkness, which is my second favorite system. I like World of Darkness a lot. I've read V5 cover to cover. Fun. I don't care much for the meta plot. That is to say, I like rating my own shit. I like the happenings. I like the politics. I like the fighting the hunger, the beast. That's good shit. But anything outside of vampire, it's a little harder. I played a little bit in a Promethean game. If Money Funk is here, he ran that for a bit. Um, Promethean is a chunky system. I have some interest in reading the book at some time, but not currently. I got too many other ideas, too many other more preferable games to play. Um, that's a lot more fun for me. Uh, I have I'm currently in a game that takes place in Montreal, Canada, so that's fun. Uh, I enjoy that every now and again. I like V5 in general. It's a fun system. I'm also reading Mage right now, specifically the 20th edition. That shit is fucking big. That book is like 900 pages because it is a compilation of everything they released, I believe. I could be wrong. There might be more content that's not included in that book, but that is a lot of book. And I'm not even to like character create or deep system mechanics. I'm still in the lore, and I'm 100 pages in that bitch. And there's an index and shit, so I can cut some of that out as like not mandatory stuff. but it's still fun. It's still good. I'm enjoying the read. I'm just very slow at reading and finding time for myself to read. It's still a good time though. I enjoy it. Think I like being a player a bit more than an ST personally, but I'm always usually I think that's more because 9 times out of the 10 I am the ST rather than being the player. So it makes it a little harder for me to go, yeah, I definitely like this more than this. But it is what it is. Um it's just a matter of trying to do things, and I could go out looking for more groups. I just don't have a desire to. I have 2 groups now, um, and that is enough for me. I play 3 days a week. No, once a week, and 2 games are every other week, and that is enough for me. It's fun. It gives me something to do, and it gives me a chance to hang out with my friends until I go to bed. Most of the time. Most of the time. I really like just writing shit as well. Just in general for D&D, not D&D, tabletops in general. I enjoy I enjoy the power that comes with it. The idea of creating something from absolutely nothing. Being given a set of rules and going, "Hey, go hog wild." Like not to burn out though. Yeah, that's also true. I was recently invited to another game on Saturdays, which I had to turn down after I thought about it because that would have taken up my entire 4 days in a row, and I was not having that. That shit would have I would have had fun. I'm certain I would have been a good time. I also probably would have wanted to pull my hair out by the end of it because I would have just burned out quick. And so I was like, I'm sorry, I gotta back out. So I think I made the right choice there for my own sake. It's, it's good shit though. Uh, I would love to play in Blade's game. I would like to play more D&D, honestly. I'd want to give D&D another try. Like I said, I've only played it a few times. I did play a decent sized campaign a while back, but the DM ended it. I think he ended at a decent place though. It wasn't like an abrupt end. He knew what he wanted. So, it's good shit. I like what I have right now. It's nice, it's steady. Part of me wants more, but part of me wants to stream more as well. Hence why I'm doing this. I didn't want to miss my stream day. I've thought about multiple times trying to stream a campaign, regardless of whether it's V5, Blades in the Dark. Uh, However, I'm too much of a coward. I always try to I get started, I get through character create. Oh shit, hold on. I was gonna sneeze. Thought I had a sneeze coming on. That would have been hell. Um, what was I saying? Yes, campaigns. Um, I think I am still nervous about trying to run my campaigns on camera in general. Uh, but I am still trying to get over that as well. I want to start growing past that, even if it's just like once a week streaming campaign. Yes, yes. It's a weird thing because it's not just a me thing. Like getting anybody to stream with you is hard enough. Not because you go up to people and they're like, I don't know, I don't want to stream. It's more because scheduling is a bitch when you're an adult. I work 5 days a week, and all of my scheduled times are in the day, except for 2 of them, which are smack dab at the end of the night. So I'm usually like 2 days a week. I get home and I immediately have to just get ready for bed, get ready to sleep, and then crash out. Um, well, the rest of it, I get a little bit of time to myself, and then I can still go to bed. But it's a weird thing trying to stream a campaign, mostly because you have to coordinate with other people. You have to get them to have the time slot. It's everything that goes with starting a campaign in general for any system, D&D, Blades, Vampire, whatever. It's that plus having to coordinate what everybody wants. Then you got to decide how you want the screen to look and whether you're going to have everybody on camera, who can be on camera. How do you balance voices? That's the thing I gotta get doing. If I'm gonna do something like that, I have to learn how to balance the voices. I gotta get I have to look up a tutorial soon to be like set it so I can stream people's voices through OBS and not have it come through on the same filter as the desktop audio. That is my big problem right now, and I realized it with when I was streaming Silent Hill 3. When I was streaming it with Money Funk, uh, the game audio is so obnoxiously quiet compared to him, and I can't turn it up because one, it was on an emulator, because I don't own a PS2, and two, um, he comes through the desktop audio because he's on Discord. So I can't boost it because if I boost the game audio, I'm boosting him as well to the point where he'll start peaking the mic, and that's not good either. So it's just a matter of trying to figure that out. I think it's pretty easy of a fix. I just gotta do it. I gotta do it. Get it done with. I think D&D and all that stuff is fun. I'm trying to think of like how I could come over that fear though. I know it's a process of just part of it is just doing it and getting people who also want to do it, which makes it a bit harder. But another thing of it is like, what if your work's not good enough? Or if someone who really likes that system sees that you're not doing the system by the books, what happens if somebody's like, stream it, but stream it privately to people you already know? That's an option too. That's true. I could try that at first. That might be something I try. Just like break it out of the ice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get what you mean. Just to get it started and everything. I think that's probably a good starting point if I'm going to do that. Um like I said, right now I'm in 3 things. I don't need to be in more right now. I'm fine where I am. Everything is chill. We're chilling. I am working on other things though. I'm still writing other games. Um it's hard for me not to write. Because I'll be doing something, I'm like, oh, that's an idea I can write down. I'll go home and I'll write it down on my computer because I'm the kind of worm brain that once something is in there, I can remember it all the way until wherever I am till I am home to put it on paper. My issue is when I'm writing, I'll put something down, go back and look at it like an hour or two later and go, that was fucking stupid. Why did I write this? Get out of here. And I'll just scrap the entire thing. I cannot tell you how many ideas for campaigns I've written down, looked at it and gone, that's just fucking Wind Waker, or oh, that's just fucking Avatar the Last Airbender. What the fuck am I doing? Just straight up copies, and my brain's like, no, this is an original thought, this is an original idea. You should write it. And I'm like, no, no, I shouldn't. This is bad. Don't copyright shit. Don't run your campaign. Don't play your friends through fucking anime you just watched a week ago, and your brain's like, "You didn't watch this. This is an original thought. You have all the power." People have been telling stories for thousands of years. Telling somebody the other day that be said truly original. Yeah, it's very impossible. But at the same time, it's very easy not to play. It's very easy to take bits and pieces. Taking bits and pieces is always going to happen. It's why tropes exist. I love reading TV tropes, by the way. Maybe I'll talk about that at one point sometime. But tropes are essentially your bread and butter when it comes to writing in general. Identifying tropes is even funner because you can look at something and go, "Oh, it's this trope," and it's even funner when you don't know what's going on. Like it's something you haven't seen before. And it's so rare for new tropes to appear anymore. It's fun. It's fun when things happen. It's fun to see how people twist the tropes and stuff. It's good shit. It's good shit. I writing in general is fun for me though. It's something I'll find myself doing very frequently. I'll go back and I'll write something and I'll go back and I'll edit this. I or reading in general. Like I said, I'm still reading Mage. Mage is the big one that I'm reading right now. Mage is fucking weird from what I've seen so far. M20, I believe, is the one I'm specifically reading. I've been reading it for about 2 years. I got to page 100 and then I stopped and I haven't picked up the book yet. I need to pick it back up, put it in my face, and go, this is what's happening. Which I will do eventually. I think having a few good systems under one's belt is healthy, and I think it's fun. Uh, but it's easy to try and like have a whole shitload of systems, and it can be good to have that variety. But then you're just sitting on these pile of books, going, "Well, shit, when can I run this?" And unless you go out of your way to like get 7 different groups and run it 7 days a week for some ungodly, if you can somehow manage that to begin with, if you can keep yourself sane running 7 games a week, or even playing in 7 games a week, I couldn't even fucking imagine doing 7 games. Like, I thought about it at one point when I was younger, when like early 2020, not 2000s, like the early 2020s. 5 years ago when I was just out of college, I'm like, oh yeah, I can manage 7 games. I could do that no problem. I would fucking love it. No. God, no. Unless I have literally no work and I'm just sitting around 24/7 doing dog ass nothing, sounds like hell. Like, I like games. They are my hobby, but holy shit. And it's the same thing with editing, and it's the same thing with recording videos or streaming. I'd like the idea of doing it 7 days a week, but even I would need to be like, okay, I need to set myself a break here. Um, Editing in general is just a bitch. It takes me fucking forever to sit down and go, okay, this is how long I'm gonna edit for. I gotta get through at least 1/3. That's what I've been trying to do currently. Is just if I can get myself to get through 1/3 of a video, I count it as a win. That is my current goal. Um, I think I could edit an entire video that's an hour and a half long in 3 hours. I give myself the hour and a half to comb through the video, an extra hour and a half hour to like go through and cut shit and do this and that and the other. Um, and then an extra like 30 minutes or so to finish up editing, adding in little stuff that I've started doing, which is fun for me. Um, so that's where editing's at. I was gonna stream a D&D game based on a custom world, but I looked at D&D and went, I don't like how this is. I started writing my own system, which is another bad habit of mine. I'll be real. I have a bad habit of going, I'm gonna write my own system for this. And I'll write the system and I'll look at it and go, this is perfect. And then I'll run it and the system's dog ass. It's broken. It doesn't work quite right. I'll run it for like text games and stuff. And my biggest issue is I will see something that doesn't work and I'll go, it's fine. It's fine. It's just for this game. It's fine. It's fine. I'll keep going with it. Even though it definitely needs to be fixed and could probably be fixed easier, I have very little ability uh, to adapt on that fly. I can adapt to a lot of things in a role play. That is one thing I have biggest issue with is if I see a problem mechanically, I don't want to go back and fix it mid game, which is something I should work on. Genuinely, it is something I need to improve. It is better to work on what you're bad at rather than just ignore it. But it's a little easier with systems that you already know, like Blades in the Dark. I know a lot. Um, I've read that, like I said, cover to cover. It's good shit. It's nice. It's easy. It's simple. You got your nice D6s. It's all you need is a D6. You got your pool. You got a whole bunch of other stuff. It's fun. And you have to work as a team with your friends. And it's a good time. Especially when some goofy shit happens because you're trying to do this big epic fight thing and you roll a 1. There's no crit fails in the system. System is basically world's physics. Imagine if IRL God said, this isn't working, and the laws of physics changed. Yeah. Yeah, but at the same time, if it's literally broken, you got fucking things clipping into each other and stuff, then you need to fix it a little bit, you know what I mean? It's a adaptability on the fly, and it's more of an issue when you're writing your own stuff. It's homebrew issue. It's a homebrew issue rather than a physical issue with pre-made systems. Yeah, exactly. Well, naturally. Um, but Blades in the Dark is good shit. Especially with the steampunk setting. And I like that it has vampires and it has machines and ghosts and stuff. It's a nice balance between like dark, gritty, and supernatural. So you can add those supernatural elements. You can have people fuck with the ghost world, and I have done stuff with even modern. I'll write modern campaigns for Blades in the Dark, mostly because it's fun to have that kind of stuff. I find it a bit harder to write fantasy for myself personally. I don't know why. I think it's partially because I don't watch a whole lot of like um that kind of fantasy stuff. Like I've never seen Lord of the Rings. I've never actually watched it. I seen bits of it when I was like 4 or 5 growing up, but my little child brain was like, "That's not a cartoon," and I waddled off to go smash toys together. Little baby Davis going with yeah, with 2 rocks and stones and shit. Blasphemy. What do you mean blasphemy? I'll have you know, my childhood consisted of great works of fiction like Pulp Fiction and Forrest Gump and what was another thing I watched as a child that probably wasn't child friendly? um Final Destination. I saw that at like age 5. Bits and pieces of it, mostly just the gory kill scenes. Watch party. It'll take a weekend, but yeah. It's like aren't the movies like 3 hours each, and there's like 3 films, and then there's The Hobbit and other shit, like something like that. It's it's very fun though. I actually started watching a while ago. I started watching oh, thank you for the water, Shima. Also, hello Shima, welcome. The director cuts, all of them are extremely long. Ugh. Oh, you're at D&D. Well, we're talking about D&D. Very good. Um, what was I saying? Right, Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. I find it very like using those new dice, getting a workout, getting them broken in so they know their place, so they don't go to dice jail. I really liked Disco Elysium's dice system, and I'm probably gonna adapt that at some point for my own purposes. I already have a campaign written up for it. Just a matter of running the damn thing. Which is the case again with having multiple systems and da 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 da. Yes, Friday. Friday. But I've completely lost the plot. Right. Fantasy settings. I can do like high fantasies, I think where I have the most issue. Um yes. High fantasy. I can do dark fantasy to an extent, but if it's anything like Berserk or stuff like that, I still have issues like writing and getting it settled and placing things where I want them to be. Anything with a pantheon, I have a trouble with. I just need to do more shit with that. Uh, Probably stuff that's more Western rather than anime and stuff for like dark fantasy, because I think that's also a thing. Is how a fantasy setting is interpreted is very different across cultures, and most of what I have seen for like high fantasy setting is from anime. Um, Stuff for like vampire though, vampire stuff is all over the place, so it's a lot easier for me to write in that setting, especially the world of darkness. Um, Mostly because I watch Norfolk Wizard Game, and by extension I watch Hunter the Parenting. Both are fantastic series. Um, if you haven't checked it out, I very much recommend going and taking a look at those. Hunter the Parenting bases itself off of I believe H5, Hunter 5, 5th edition. And it is a very good introduction from the hunter perspective of the world of darkness as a whole. Meanwhile, Norfolk Wizard Game is a live play written by the same group of people who are going through Mage the Ascension, and is my essentially what I'm using as my beginner's guide to Mage, outside of reading the actual book. Because again, 900 pages is a lot of fucking book. Um, but I think a lot of my stuff is influenced by mostly anime and stuff like that, rather than being like Western focused. Vampire, you can look at Blade, you can look at Dracula, you can look at Nosferatu. I've heard that one, the new Nosferatu movie was really fucking good. Have not seen it yet, have not watched it yet. Plan to. My dad said it was even really good. He watched it on his own. Um, where was I? Oh yeah, vampires. Helsing. Helsing is a great inspiration for vampires, specifically older vampires who are just big badass monsters who just kick ass and take names. Great inspiration. Um, Berserk's good for dark fantasy, but again, I need to read Berserk. I'm still in the golden age. I picked it up a while back and then put it back down, and I haven't put it back up again. I have a bad habit of doing that. In favor of just I have an hour of free time, let me Balatro. I will just pull up Balatro and just no brain that, which is another thing I gotta work on. Can't get much inspiration from Blackjack plus. Poker? Poker plus. More poker than Blackjack. A lot more poker. In fact, it is poker with poker hands. But um I think I still like the whole concept of like running a game live and stuff. I'd have to probably disable a lot of my followers, not followers, my redeems, mostly because a lot of them wouldn't work for that kind of show. Okay. um, and the idea of like having multiple extra ones is enticing. I just don't know how I would have like user it's that thing, the whole reason you stream something is so that you can yeah, so you can interact with people like I am doing right now, looking at the chat and talking to everybody. Hello. If you notice my eyes looking down, it's because my camera is slightly higher than my field of view. Mostly because my chair is low, because I am short. Like 5'6". A little boy. Um, but uh still taller than me. Ha ha ha! I shall T-pose on you, Shima, and give you small head pats. I actually would like to go like out of country. I have plans to go out of country to Europe soon. Soon is a relative word. In terms of a year or so. I have food this time. I don't. I have food. I have plans. Did I say I have food this time? No. Bitch is still empty. I'm going to the store tomorrow. I go to the store tomorrow to get things I need. Thank you for saying that. I will put it on my list so I don't forget, because I will forget. I'll get some snacks for my dad too. He'll be happy as a clam. Um, I was gonna go to the store today, but he the whole reason I was out and why I'm a little bit behind. is he wanted to go out to a thrift store that's relatively close by. Everything around here where I live is kind of far away, so getting anywhere is a little bit hellish. Europe trip, yes. That'll be about a year from now, probably, give or take. Um, After that, I do want to go to like, I want to go to Britain. I want to go to Scotland because my heritage is Scottish. I want to go to Japan at some point, though it's a lower priority. Uh, I like learning new languages, so it's one of those things where I want to learn at least a little bit of Japanese before I go over there. And I am a slow learner. It takes me a while to learn things. British gremlin noises. I will do my best not to do a British accent well over in Britain so I don't get socked in the jaw. I imagine I imagine that happens a lot with people who go over to Britain. They'll like do British voices at the actual British people, and it pisses them off to an obscene degree. Then again, I imagine British people do the American accent too, uh, which I think is funny. So a lot of British people can put on a pretty half decent American voice. Uh, I want to see what your American voice sounds like at some point, Shima, to know what it sounds like. Um, but oh no. Oh yes. Um, but in terms of like inspirations and stuff, I turn usually to like one of my biggest inspirations I think for writing any campaign is I really liked how Disco Elysium handled its rolling system. Where even if you fail, you might have some consequences, but it's not an absolute destruction of everything you're doing. Um, you're lockpicking something, but you failed the roll, so you might not get inside the door, but you might see something else that is beneficial to you and might give you other ideas of how to tackle this problem. Last time I did an American accent, it was for performing arts, and you hated it. Ooh. Well, now you just baited my breath. Now I need to know it. Now I need to have it. You've tantalized the taste buds, Shima. You can't just hint at things and then not say anything. You can't just drop that and not do it. Um, but where was I? I am gone again. It's gone. This is why I don't talk. Uh, I have a bad habit of just I'll get distracted and my entire train of thought will just disappear. Now you have to wait. I won't succumb to peer pressure. We'll see about that. um, but inspirations. That's right. I find a lot of inspiration in how the Disco Elysium did it. Slow learning new languages. Yes, yes, that was another point I was on. You see what I mean? This is why I don't do a whole lot of like just talking bits. It's because I jump around from topic to topic like I'm on crack. I do enjoy doing things like this. I was actually planning on doing a video on Persona 5, Persona in general, and how it handles like romantic relationships and such. I just never got around to it. So maybe one day I'll actually sit down and stream that talk because I am finding it like now that I'm actually doing it, I'm actually having a bit of fun now. So it's maybe just a matter of I like streaming more, so I'll do it that way. I'll prepare like a little notes sheet or something, and then when I go to edit it, I can actually do like animations and shit. I'll think about it, but that's a good idea actually. And I'm saying it out loud. Remember, future Davis, put that in the fucking in your little brain. Do it, you little bitch. Um. So yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. I could do that one day. It's like talk about video games, specifically like Persona and my thoughts on it. Um, I haven't streamed any Persona, but I play a lot of it. I still need to finish Persona 3 Reload. Write it down, write it down. Um, I am like halfway through the game, and then I stopped back in April, and I haven't picked it back up, and that is 100% my fault. Once summer hit, I got busy, and then I stopped doing everything. I need to get back into playing Persona 3 and not playing Balatro. Something I need to do. um, but other than like Persona is another big inspiration because the storytelling in it most of the time is pretty good. I have some beefs with some things in its stories. Except Persona 5 specifically. Despite it being everybody's favorite game in the series, I don't like it as much as Persona 3. And with Reload here, I actually think I like Reload the best, period. Especially now that it has the Fez content that was in the original PS2. I would like to actually play that, but I don't like the $35 price tag for the bitch. And as previously stated, I still need to get through the original game to see what they added and what not. But I'm getting there. Um, Other inspirations. Steins Gate was a big one. I really liked the character writing for Steins Gate and how in depth the characters were. Even if they seem one way on a surface level, their personalities are completely different underneath. Um, it's good shit. It's good writing. Um, a lot of the games from the science adventure series are pretty fucking good. I haven't read anything beyond Steins Gate, mostly because I just haven't had a chance to buy it. I know the next one I need to read is Robotics Notes, and that is my goal, is to eventually buy that and read that on my own time. There was a time where I was going to try and stream a lot of like the Steins Gate and stuff like that, but I don't think there would be an audience for watching me play through those. Mostly because it would end up being a lot like 100 Line, where it's just me reading. The difference is it would be nothing but me reading with no option to skip combat because there is no combat. But it would still, I feel like I still want to read them. I still want to get through Higurashi. Higurashi was another big inspiration. I love horror. Horror is a fun subject. Um, Kirishiki showed me years ago. Shiki. That is another inspiration of mine, as it's just really fucking dark and good. It is a fun tale of humanity and stuff like that. Playing through Curse of Strahd, even if we didn't finish the campaign, was still really fun. It is a fun horror gothic campaign that I very much recommend that anybody who wants to like get into kind of a more darker D&D 5e story should definitely play at least once. It is just fun. It is a good campaign. You will probably die. um, but it's still good. Still good shit. Uh, Dark Souls is not actually one of my biggest inspirations though. Thinking of it, I don't know why Dark Souls came up in my brain, but it did. Like Dark Souls, still need to finish Dark Souls 3, but it doesn't really inspire me that much. I liked the concepts of souls, but a lot of things do the soul thing, so it's not exactly like anything big. And I know a big chunk of inspiration for that was Berserk. Um, Recently, Vinland Saga was a pretty decent inspiration. Ghost of Tsushima, back when I first played that, was pretty inspirational. I liked that. I like most samurai stuff in general, though. It's just good shit. It's just a niche that I enjoy personally for myself. It's fun. Um, but in terms of writing like for systems, it's always hard to pick one. Recently I've been looking into like superhero RPGs and stuff, trying to find something if I wanted to run like something more like The Boys, or if I wanted to do what's another option? Maybe a darker version of My Hero Academia. I don't like I okay. I have a love-hate relationship with My Hero Academia. It's nice, it's fun, it's just too light for my tastes. It doesn't feel like there are enough stakes for what there should be. characters do die. I'm in like season 5, so I'm like 2 seasons away from the end. Um, but it never feels like it's like I think I did. How do I phrase it? But it doesn't feel like the stakes are high enough. This is essentially it. It's good. It's fun. It's good for popcorn. It's a good popcorn thing. The Boys, on the other hand, is far more interesting in terms of its lore and its characters. I am looking forward to seeing how it ends. I still need to watch Gen V though. Scringo's been getting on my ass to watch that. Um, Invincible. Invincible's another good one. I like Invincible a lot. I like the character writing there. That's a fun one. I saw recently. Invincible released its own TTRPG though. It was crowdfunded a few weeks ago, months ago, and they exceeded what they needed. And it looked like they were following a success or fail system, where I think you roll d6s and either you get a 6 and pass or you fail. Don't quote me on that. I only glanced at the system. There's a free thing for it on their website. If you Google it, you can find it pretty quick. Um, there's like a free thing if you want to test out the system yourself and play through it real quick. Um, it's not as rough as you would think because with systems like that, there are a lot more safety nets. If you're rolling and you fail something, which you probably will because it's a D6 system with only one chance of success, um, your consequences won't be that bad, and your teammates can usually help you out pretty good. But on the other hand, there's no critical successes, and getting a 6 means that you perfectly do whatever you want. So it's usually pretty balanced, and you're usually rolling more than just 1d6. I actually can't think of any scenario where, unless you really like, unless you really don't try to like think out your character ahead of time, I can't think of a scenario where you'd only run or roll 1d6, which would be really pragmatic. Be interesting though, having everything you have on a d6. Um, Blades in the Dark does that, but Blades in the Dark you still have chance of success with 4 and a 5 at a risk. And I think that's the fun part about Blades in the Dark that I really like. I know I'm getting completely off topic again, but uh, Blades is just a fun system. With the you fail with a 1, 2, or 3. There's no crit fails, so you don't have to worry about all that. But if you lose with a if you get a 4 or a 5, it's not a perfect success. You succeed with consequences, and you can pay stress. There's mechanics where you can lower that effect, but it's funner to just roll with it most of the time, unless it's like a really serious situation. And then it feels fucking amazing when you get that 6 and it's like, oh yeah, I did it perfect. Nothing can stop me now. This is all according to plan. Um, and it's just fun. It's a fun system. Going and I had a scene once where a character was riding in a bus. I was the ST. Uh, they were running away, and they decided to whip the bus around to go and save their teammates. So they whip the bus around, and there's a type of roll in the original Blades of Dark and in the new version where it's deep cuts. It's the new version. Um, Called a desperate action, and you don't get rerolls, but if whatever you roll is the state it is, but you're gonna get XP regardless, and XP is nice. Regardless of the outcome, you're not gonna instantly die, but you're gonna get some XP for it. So they whip the bus around, and they obviously can't do what they want to do while driving the bus. So they let go of the bus. It's raining, it's storming, there's bodies in the street. The bus starts getting all sorts of fucked up and it starts spinning and it loses control. So I had them roll desperate action as they try to jump out of the bus while it's moving and spinning and going all to hell. They rolled a critical success, and I described as they spun with the bus out the back window through the broken glass and landed in the street perfectly fine, and how the bus fucked up their enemies. And it is the fucking dopest shit. It's shit like that that is just fun when you can have fun like that, writing a scenario and doing things that is just good shit. Um, I have a few other stories I could tell another time. When I have more time, I will have to wrap up in like 20 minutes. I can't believe it's been a fucking hour. I thought I would be a fucking whole ass mess doing this, but I'm glad to see I was wrong. I will need more water next time, though. I am realizing I'm chugging through the water pretty quick. But the it's stuff like that, and you kind of lose a bit of that with something like D&D, where you have there. I'm sure there is badass shit. I'm sure if you looked at Critical Role, you could find plenty of examples of dope ass shit that happened in a campaign that is specifically 5e. I have not watched any Critical Role. I've seen bits and pieces, I've seen clips, but I've never watched it enough to actually get a gauge of it. Maybe I should at some point just to see how like fifth edition could run. Because I've heard Critical Role's really fun and really good to watch. It's just never really been something I watched. Even now I have LA by Night by World of Darkness on Geek and Sundry pinned in my tabs. I think I'm like 6 episodes in on that out of a 35 session video thing, and they're all like a couple hours long. Um, I don't take a whole lot of time to watch live plays myself, but I feel like I should do some a little bit more often because they are fun to watch. Like I said, I watch Mage Norfolk Wizard game, which is fun. If you want to check out Mage and get an idea of how the World of Darkness is from a Mage perspective, that's a fun live play. They also have the added bonus of having nice little animations and things, so it's not just a still screen. Um, so yeah, check it out. It's good shit. Fun writing. I give it a thumbs up. But Blaze in the Dark is just fun. World of Darkness is just really good for storytelling in general. It's good for having that personal horror and going through a gothic setting, even if it's a modern day. And I think that's what I love the most is um, the way that it is set up and the way that the politics are set up. It's very gothic. Even if it's even if you're in somewhere like sunny California or LA, the fact that you're locked in at nighttime when the lights are all beaming and the shadows are cast even farther, there's plenty of time to set up a more darker tone in the middle of the night. Um, and it's just fun. Then D&D I feel like has moments where you can do that. You can have cool moments, but I feel like it doesn't have that same punch. I guess would be the way to say it. It doesn't have a lot of the little minutia that I like from the other two systems. I feel like when I'm rolling a d20 to do something in D&D, I either pass or I fail. Either it happens or it doesn't. Period. And that's kind of the point, but it feels like it's lacking narrative significance. It's also the fact that because everyone runs off the same stats, with no narrative dissonance, someone of a different class who has no idea how they're doing it could roll the same thing, but they could roll higher enough and they could do it. A bard who's trying to sing a world class opera could roll a nat 1 and not have enough buffs to get like 7 total, but the orc, who's like a barbarian, could roll an at 20 and belt out this beautiful melody, which leads to some fucking hilarious moments, don't get me wrong, but it just feels a little off. It feels off kilter for like narrative significance. That's my perspective, at least. And again, take what I say about D&D with a large grain of salt, as I am parroting things that I've heard and seen from people who have played far more D&D than me. I have only played like 3 games, and none of them were to completion. Like, none of them were an entire story. It's also up to the DM to keep things in line if they choose. That is true, but there's only so much leeway you can give with somebody going, I got a nat 20, and what I want to do is this. And God going, well, you got a perfect roll, but DM can remind the barbarian that even if they got a natural 20, it still isn't going to make them, an amazing tenor if they've never sang before. That is true, but at the same point, you're also going to start stripping away player agency, which is the other issue I have with D&D. Because once you start telling players, hey, you can't do that, it starts taking away options from them. Options that they could use to solve the puzzle, which makes it harder if this is a specific thing that you've set up for that player, for player X. And it goes back to, you could always do the Disco Elysium thing of even a failure brings success in a different way, which is, I think, the appropriate way you should handle that kind of stuff. Like, if the bard fails, then the bard fails in a way that still has them doing something that progresses the plot towards them, rather than ending up soft blocking your players because everybody failed. Even in real life, a person can't do whatever they want just because they want to do it. They still have to have some kind of ability. Everybody has the ability to do anything, though. You could literally do whatever you want. You have free will. There's nothing stopping a bard or a barbarian from doing the other person's job. You might not do it good. You can try. You can get on a plane. You could certainly try to jump out of a window and see how far you get. You're going to be falling with style, though. But there's nothing stopping me from doing something like that. And even in D&D, you can't exactly fly, though. So yeah, outside of the realm of possibility, even a D20 is not going to let you fly through the air. Unless you're using some sort of magic. But that's a different box of Pandora altogether. It's still the point of exactly your point. Um it's a point of D&D feeling like it has less it has more potential for comedy than personal tragedy. And again, I don't have a whole lot of experience in 5e. This is just from my perspective as a player, as I've never run the game. As compared to someone who has played and ran World of Darkness's 5e. I've played in V20 as well, or 5e. V5, I've played V20 a little bit as well. And I just enjoy the narrative significance, because when you do something, you're going to do it. And 9 times out of 10, it's far more grounded in reality, outside of the vampiric powers and drinking blood and all that other crazy shit. For obvious reasons. And then Blades in the Dark, you're either succeeding, failing, or succeeding at a cost. So it's just fun. Um, I need more information on Mage. And there are some cool ideas and concepts in Promethean, uh, the other World of Darkness game I've played, but that's also from a different variation of that and uses a completely different dice system. It's I would like to look into Promethean again at some point. It's just not something I'm ready to do willingly this time. But it's good shit either way. Um, there's always a thing that it can be done given the right system as well. It's also a matter of uh, the DM communicating with the players what is and what isn't possible in the setting before the game starts. But again, that leads into, what are you doing to step on that player's free will? It's a weird balancing act. It's fun though. It's a good balancing act. Yes, you got to throw that ass back. But I enjoy being a DM. I enjoy running games a little too much. I like being God. Uh, um, it's fun. But I am gonna have to wrap it up here. I need to get ready for work. I need to finish up some little tasks and do a little bit of prep before I go. I got like an hour before I have to go. So I know this is a little shorter. People seem to like this, so I might do this again. I um, I probably will do this again. I'll think about doing the other topics I talked about, like talking about Persona and stuff. I'll try to get some like. It was fun. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I was a little bit nervous doing something like this on short notice. Um, I'll set up some topics where I talk about Persona and my perspective on it, and like maybe Danganronpa and stuff. Because there's also the fact that I do like Danganronpa. I like murder mysteries and stuff. There's plenty of topics I can explore. It's just a matter of doing it. But I'll try and get some like things sorted out if people want more of this. Something with some sort of soundtrack that plays. If you're not in D&E, so Tuesdays. Yeah, I had things I had to take care of yesterday, unfortunately, so I couldn't exactly stream. It's the thing of it's the one thing I really would like to not have to work Mondays and Tuesdays, but I have to work Mondays and Tuesdays. And the days I do work day shift, yeah, life. Exactly. This is I would love for this to be my job, but it is not my job. I do not get paid enough. Um, I have a Patreon. If you feel like supporting things, greatly appreciated. It's I think it's linked here, but I don't remember. I know the Discord is. If you want to just come in and hang out on Discord, if anybody isn't in the Discord already, I'm gonna post a link for that now, and I'll leave it up there for a bit as we're just kind of closing out. Come in, say hi, feel free to chill. I have a big issue of like not. I think there's also a link on the page, isn't it? Join us. I forgot that that's a sub thing. Um, invite friends. That's not what I wanted. I want to invite people. Copy, close. You can't see Discord anyway, so it's not that big a deal. I will send the link. I think it'll let me because I'm a mod. Did that work? It did. So as we're closing out, I'll wait another like 5 minutes. Oh, I see there's an ad playing, so we'll definitely wait like another 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'll stop the stream at 2 o'clock my time. But yeah, if you haven't already, join the Discord. I'm more active there than I am on Twitter. It is in the chat now. I have a habit of trying. I'm trying to get more into the habit of talking more in the server. Mostly because I have disconnected myself a lot from talking in servers. Because I'm a little baby bitch. Um, but there's also Patreon. I put Patreons at the end of the videos, like of the once I edit things. I'm still 2 fucking years behind. I'm still editing Disco Elysium. There's so much shit I have to catch up on. I have 500 gigs of footage that I'm just sitting on, waiting to be edited, and it is eating my computer alive. I'm very thankful that I have multiple storage units. Otherwise, I would be fucked. Um, but I think people enjoyed this. I think I'll do this again. I definitely will do this again. I think I was a bit nervous of trying it. Um, I still definitely prefer playing something rather than just sitting here talking, as it gives me something to do. I've been fidgeting with a goddamn splitter this entire time. Um, I should probably get another ball. I had a squish ball. I popped the bitch after about a month, maybe 2 weeks. It didn't last long. I need to get more things. Um, but yeah, Discord. There's a Discord now in the chat. If you haven't joined and you want to see more, you want to be notified how videos that go up on YouTube are going, or if you want to be like notified more directly when a stream is starting, or just chat in general. There's that option. I do have a Twitter. I'm dog ass at posting at it. It's very hard for me to keep up with that. I have a lot of problems with it, mostly because I forget it exists. And I've noticed that if people join on Twitter, it's a lot harder to like keep track of specific people, as Twitter just floods you with random shit. I don't know if that's just a me thing or anything else. Um, but that's that. There's also the YouTube that I keep mentioning. By the same name as we are here, I post the streams after I edit them. I'm still 2 years behind, so the setup is going to be completely different. Um, we'll see how that goes. I'm still working on things here. I'm still getting emotes made. Um, we still have a few more emotes, and then we're going to start working on animated emotes. That'll be the next goal, is getting those situated. Going from there. I don't know what my next goal will be once we have all the emotes done. I know we'll get more emotes after we get 10 subscribers in 1 month, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. Um, Otherwise, we also have a few other goals we need to work on. Um, I think next time I do something like this, I'll show off the system that I'm building. Because it is good to bounce ideas off people and just show it off. Uh, Kind of a group think. Maybe I'll put people's like name in the credits for like good ideas or alterations, just because it's. I don't want to be like, yeah, this was all my idea. Oh, yes, but see how it goes. It's fun. I enjoyed doing this. It was nice to just take a moment and talk. Kind of, it's I'll definitely do this more often. If I could, I'd set up like a dedicated day where I'd do this. But again, life does not always permit that. uh, I'm probably gonna spend the rest of this afternoon just decompressing before work and then going to bed when I get home tonight. Um, but I want to try. My goal is to have the next video up on YouTube by the end of the week, maybe the end of next week, before Thanksgiving, but I don't foresee it happening. I imagine I'll either get distracted or I won't do it, or I'll find some excuse to be like, oh, I don't have time for this. Because I'm brilliant at making excuses. I'm really good at it. Like, I'm a professional excuse maker when it comes to doing, like, uh, smaller stuff, like personal projects. I am a personal pro, allow me to assure you. But I will be back tomorrow night with Ghosts of Yote. Um, like I said, we're only going to do like one or two more streams of that, and then we're going to I'm probably going to try and move on to Dispatch. No, I'm going to finish up Dark Cloud 2 because it's the last like part. Then I can edit that video and get it off my desktop, which will be very nice. But until then, I'd like to thank you all so very much for hanging out with me. This was very fun. I will do this again, and I will see you all later. Have a good day, evening, or afternoon, and be safe out there, everybody. Peace!